The constant rod is mainly used to represent constant digit, that is 0. These rotating wheels are mainly used to perform some of the basic arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication as well as division. The Holrith was the founder of the company called IBM, that is International Business Machine. Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new session. I am Revati, Faculty, Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, Pre-University College, Mysuru. We are on the second session of first chapter called Overview of a Computer. Moving further, in today's session, I am going to deal with evolution of computer system as well as classification of computer system. Before going to start my today's session, let me to recall the things what I had discussed in my previous session. In my previous session, I started with definition, that is what is computer. Now tell me what is computer. Here we know that computer is an automatic electronic device which is responsible for storing, recalling and processing of data. I repeat, it is an electronic device responsible for store, recall and process data. So how to remember these storing, recalling and processing of data? In order to remember these three words, I'm going to use the letter S, R, P. That means here S stands for storing the data, whereas R stands for recalling the data, and whereas P stands for processing of data. In general, a computer is an electronic device which is going to accept input from the user and it is going to process all the input and it is going to store the output in their memory. At the same time, it is going to display the output to the user. Then we had discussion regarding characteristics of computer. So here the characteristics of computer is nothing but the features of computer system. So here we had total 8 characteristics. In order to remember all the characteristics of computer system, I'm going to give one small tips. That is nothing but CAD versus SAM. So here S stands for storage, then A stands for accuracy, then M stands for memory, here V stands for versatile, then here S stands for speed, here C stands for cost effective and A stands for automatic, then D stands for diligence. So dear student, in order to remember the characteristics of computer system, I'm going to use the word that is SAM versus CAD. Then we had discussion regarding data as well as information. So what is data? Here data is nothing but the raw fact or unprocessed data, whereas information is nothing but the processed data and it's going to give some meaningful information. Then we are going to have discussion regarding hardware as well as software. Now tell me what is hardware? Here hardware is nothing but the physical component of a computer system. When I say it is hardware, that indicates that we can able to see the device. At the same time, we can able to touch touch and we can able to feel it. So some of the example for hardware devices are, that is keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, etc. Then moving on to the software. What is software? Here software is nothing but the set of instructions that tells the hardware to what to do. Then we are going to have discussion regarding functional components of a computer system. Before going to discuss what are the different functional components of a computer system, let me to explain the functionalities of computer system. As we know that the computer system is going to read the input from the user through input device, and at the same time the computer system is responsible for executing all the data, and at the same time it is also responsible for storing the data into their memory. At the same time it is also responsible for producing the output to the user. So these are the some of the functionalities of computer system. Then moving on to the components of computer system, here we are going to have 4 different components, that is input device or input unit. Then I'm going to have memory unit. Then I'm going to have CPU, and at the end I'm going to have output unit. Now tell me what is input device or input unit. So this is mainly used to feed the data to the computer system. Some of the most commonly used input devices are nothing but keyboard and mouse. Then we are going to have memory. So what is memory? What's the job of the memory? Here the memory is mainly used to store the data as well as program. That means after the execution of the program or instruction, the intermediate results are stored in the memory. That is nothing but the main memory or primary memory, and the size of the primary memory is very small. Then we are going to have CPU. Now tell me what is CPU? Is that black box is called CPU? No. The processor inside the black box is called CPU. That is nothing but the central processing unit. So the job of the CPU is to read the data and execute the data. At the same time, it is also responsible for performing complex calculation. At the same time, it is also responsible for performing major decisions. So because of these reasons, the CPU is called heart of the computer system or brain of the computer system. So this CPU is further divided into ALU and CU. So what is ALU? It is a combination of arithmetic as well as logic unit. That means it is responsible for performing all the arithmetic operations, logical operations as well as relational operations. That means all the basic arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and divisions are carried out by the ALU. At the same time, it is also responsible for performing some of the logical operations like and, or, and not. Along with that, it is also responsible for performing some of the relational operations like greater than or equal to or lesser than. These are the jobs of ALU. Then we are going to have CU. CU is nothing but the control unit. This is also called nerve system, that is central nerve system. And this CU is responsible for coordinating input device as well as output device. This CU is also responsible for managing input device as well as output device. At the same time, it is also going to take care of all the instructions are stored properly in the memory location, and along with that, it is also responsible for the execution sequence of the instruction. These are some of the jobs of control unit. Then we are going to have output unit. So the output unit is a media used to display the result to the user. So the best example for output unit is nothing but the printer as well as monitor. So these are some of the topics I had discussed in my previous session. Moving directly to the today's topic, that is evolution of computer system. So here the evolution of computer system is nothing but the history of computer system. So here at the beginning we are going to have abacus. So what is abacus? Where we can able to find the abacus? So abacus is nothing but the calculating device. Till nowadays we can able to find the abacus. So here the abacus is mainly used to perform calculation. That means it is mainly used to perform basic arithmetic calculations like addition, multiplication, subtraction and division. So this abacus was first invented by the Babylonians in the year 2400 BC, and this is the first mechanical calculating device. To understand this abacus, I'm going to consider this image. So in this image, I'm going to have certain beads and certain rods and certain frames. So here the abacus is mainly made up of chords, struts as well as beads. So here the bead is used to define the decimal digit, whereas the chords are mainly used to define the position of the decimal digit. So dear student, I'm going to repeat once again here that the beads are mainly used to define the decimal digit, whereas the chords are mainly used to define the position of decimal digit. And this is the first mechanical calculating device, and it is mainly used to perform some of the basic mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Moving further, we are going to have Napier's bones. So it is mainly used for multiplication. I repeat, it is mainly used for multiplication. To understand this Napier bones, let's consider this figure. So here we are going to have 9 rods. And each 9 rods are used to represent 9 digits. That is, it's going to start from first digit and it's going to end with last digit, that is 9th one. Along with that, we are going to have one constant rod. So here the constant rod is mainly used to represent constant digit, that is 0. And each rod is going to represent the column of multiplication table. So it is a set of bones and it consists of 9 rods along with that one constant rod, and that is mainly used to represent 0. And a rod is similar to one column of multiplication table. And it is mainly used to perform the basic mathematic operations like multiplication as well as division, along with that square root and cube root. Next, we are going to have slide rule, and it is invented by the William, and it is mainly based on the Napier's idea about logarithm. This device is responsible for performing basic arithmetic operations like division, multiplication, roots, and logarithms. Then we are going to have Pascal line, and which is invented by the French mathematician Blaise Pascal, and this device is going to have 8 rotating wheel. I repeat, this device is going to have 8 rotating wheel, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So these are the rotating wheels, and these rotating wheels are mainly used to perform some of the basic arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication as well as division. And we are going to have another device that is nothing but the Charles Babbage's Analytical Engine. So here the Charles Babbage is called the father of computer system. So here the Charles Babbage invented mechanical calculator, and that is called difference engine. Later the same machine was called analytical engine, and it is responsible for performing all kind of arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication as well as division. And at the end we are going to have Lady Ada. She is the first programmer, and she used to write the program for Charles Babbage's Analytical Engine. So this is the first programmer who is going to write the programs for Analytical Engine. So these are the some of the evolutions of computers. Moving further, next we are going to have Hollerith tabulating machine. So this is the first electronic computing device, and it is mainly used as computing machine, and it is mainly used for performing some of the basic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. At that time we are going to have punch cards. So here the punch cards are used for input device. So this is the example for input device. After that, the Hollerith was the founder of the company called IBM, that is International Business Machine. So who is the founder of IBM? That is none other than Hollerith. So these are the some of the evolution of computer system. Moving further, we are going to have the classification of computer system. So here the computer systems are classified based on the operations as well as configuration. So based on the operation, we are going to have 3 types, and based on the configuration, we are going to have 4 different types. I repeat, the classification of computers are classified into 2 types, that is based on the operation, and based on the configuration. Suppose if I consider based on the operation, then I'm going to have analog, then I'm going to have digital, then I'm going to have hybrid computer. Suppose if I consider the configuration, then I'm going to have microcomputer, then mini computer, then I'm going to have supercomputer, and I'm going to have mainframe computer. So moving on to the classification based on the principles of operation. At the beginning, I'm going to have analog computer. So what is analog computer? Here the analog computer is nothing but the continuously varying value. So when I say it is continuously varying value, then I'm going to have speed, temperature, etc. So here the analog computer is an computing device that works on the continuous ranging value. That means continuous value that is mainly based on the speed, temperature, volume, etc. So when I say it is a continuous range of value, then I'm going to have minimum value and maximum value, and it is mainly based on the approximate result. That means whatever the output I'm going to get through the analog computer, that is the approximate result, and it is mainly going to work based on the principles of measuring. And the best example for analog computers are, that is analog watch. This is the best example for analog computer. And modern computers are mainly employs based on the electrical parameters. So dear student, from the examination point of view, the classification of computer system is very important question, and it carries 5 marks. So here the analog computer is mainly based on the continuously varying value. So here we are going to have minimum value and we are going to have maximum value, and it works based on the principle of measuring or based on the principle of measurement. Then we are going to have the digital computer. So the name itself indicates that this is going to take discrete value. That means it is going to consider only binary value, that is nothing but the zeros and ones. So here digital computers are the computer that operates with information numerical or otherwise represented in a digital form. That means here the digital computers are the computer that is going to operate based on the information that may be in the form of numerical or it may be represented in the form of digit. So it is mainly going to focus on discrete value. So when I say it is discrete value, that is mainly based on the binary digit, that is nothing but the zeros and ones. So here it mainly works with the binary numbers, that is zeros as well as 1, and it gives the accurate result and it's going to give the faster result. Then some of the example for digital computers are nothing but the desktop computers, then digital camera. These are some of the examples for digital computer. Then I'm going to have hybrid computer. So here the name itself indicates that this is the combination of analog computer as well as this is the combination of digital computer. So here hybrid computers are combination of computers. Those are capable of accepting input and outputs in both digital and analog signals. That means whatever the input they are going to receive, that is in the form of analog signal, and whatever the output it is going to produce, that is in the form of digital. So here the hybrid computers are the combination of analog as well as digital computer. So the hybrid computers are mainly used for specialized tasks. So whatever the hybrid computer we are going to have, that is mainly designed and that is mainly used for specialized tasks. The example for hybrid computers are the ECG machine. That is nothing but the machine which is used in the hospital. So these are the examples for hybrid computer. So here the classification of computer system based on the principles of operation, we are going to have 3 types of computer system, that is analog, digital and hybrid computer. Moving further, we are going to have classification of computer system based on the configuration. So based on the configuration, we are going to have microcomputer. So microcomputers are most frequently, most fastly, most widely used computer, and it's also called personal computer, and it is introduced in the year 1960, and it contains one or more processors, and it is used by the one person at a time. That means only one user can capable to use the computer system at a time. So this is the most commonly, most frequently used computer system and most fastly growing computer system, and it contains one or two processor, and only one user can capable to use that computer at a time. So there are three major type of personal computers, that is desktop computer, portable computer and handheld computer, and these computers are most frequently used by the business organization as well as engineering purpose. So these are the some of the use of microcomputer. That means the microcomputers are used in the office as well as it is used in the home, and it's also used for business as well as engineering purpose. Moving further, I'm going to have mini computer. So here the mini computers are larger computer and it is more powerful than microcomputer, and it is introduced in the year 1970, and it includes two or more processor, and it is capable to execute 5 million instructions per second. It can also serve more than 400 connected users simultaneously. That means by using mini computer, we can able to serve more than 4,000 connected users simultaneously. So here the mini computers are used by the small scale industries or medium sized companies in order to provide centralized stored information. So when I say it is centralized stored information, that indicates that the mini computers are going to use as server. So here we are going to have one server and we are going to have n number of client. So this is the best example for client server computer. Moving further, we are going to have mainframe computer. So here the size of the computer is large and it is capable to store more information. So the mainframe computer is a very large computer system and it is more powerful than mini computer, and it was introduced in the year 1975, and it consists multiple processor. That means it's going to have multiple, more than one processor, and it is mainly designed to perform multiple tasks. That means it is mainly designed to perform more than one task for multiple user. That means more than one user, and it is capable to serve up to 50,000 users at a time. And this typical mainframe computers can capable to execute 16 million instruction per second. That means here the mainframe computers are capable to serve 50,000 users at a time, and it is also capable to execute 16 million instructions per second. And here the mainframe computers are mainly used by the large organization. So here mainframe computers are the larger computer and more powerful computer, and it is capable to execute million instructions per second, and it is also responsible for serve 50,000 users at a time. Then we are going to have supercomputer. So here the supercomputers are faster computer comparing to mainframe computer, and it is introduced in the year 1980. So it is most sophisticated computer system, and it is most advanced computer system. It has large storage capacity, and it is responsible for executing trillions of instructions per second, and it is mainly used for specified application. I repeat, the supercomputers are mainly used for specified application. When I say it is specified application, then it may be space science or weather forecasting or nuclear energy. So here the supercomputers are most famous computer, and the size of the computer is large, and it provides large storage space, and it is mainly designed for some special purpose. For example, it is designed for space science, weather forecasting and nuclear energy. And at the same time, the supercomputer is capable to execute trillion instruction per second, and it's going to have multiple processor. So these are the some of the types of computer system. So here classification of computer system based on the configuration. We are going to have mini computer, microcomputer, mainframe computer and supercomputer. Then how to remember the order? That is, at the beginning I'm going to have first M, then I'm going to have second M, then I'm going to have third M and S. That is 3M S. So the first M, it is mainly used to represent microcomputer. Then the second M, it is mainly used to represent mini computer. And the third M, that is mainly used to represent microcomputer. And at the last, I'm going to have S, that is mainly used to represent supercomputer. So here, all the computer systems are going to use according to the speed, that is execution speed, according to the processor used, and according to the organization, they are going to use these kind of machines. So these are the some of the classification on computer system based on the operations. Dear student, in my today's session, I have discussed the evaluation of computer system along with the classification of computer system. So from the examination point of view, both the topics are very important and each topic carries 5 marks. So here the classification of computer system is very important, and the classification of computer systems are classified into two types, that is based on the operation as well as configuration. So when I say based on the operation, then I'm going to have analog, digital and hybrid computer. When I say based on the operation, then I'm going to have microcomputer, mini computer, mainframe computer and supercomputer. So dear student, in my next session, I'm going to have some more information about fundamentals of computer system. Thank you for watching my session. Let's meet in the next session. Until then, take care. Thank you.